Hi, Bruno. So, first lesson there. So that being the case, kind of just a random kind of smattering of various different things because you're already up, well up on the basics, which is great. So, in this video, I'm just gonna, run through the kind of the main bullet points of what we talked about. So, first of all, there was tone control on the guitar, just the bass, just how to get that, how to get the most out of the tonal options of your guitar, because you'd be amazed at how many different sounds you can get just by, messing around with this once you do it the right way and you have the amp set up accordingly, right? So, as I said, generally your default volume should be about 7 or 8, right? Giving you the option to give you that little boost, right? And now, the way your volume rolls up on your guitar on the Telecaster, it's obviously going to be a little bit different to this. So just find out how far down you need to go for that boost to be just the right amount that you need, right? So, like, let's say 7 going right up to 10, maybe that might be a bit too much of a jump, so then make your default volume 8. And test it by, going from, let's say, a chord. So I'm at about 8 right now, and then I want to go to 10. Yeah, so that sounds. I don't know how it's coming across here now, but that sounds about right. It's just giving me that bump I need for the lead to come out. Same idea with the tone. I'd say that a bit lower as your default, and then brighten up the amp accordingly. So then when you do knock this up, it's kind of much brighter, and you have the option. I generally like to have the option of doing too much, right? So that way I know that I don't need to push it any further than the guitar can give me, right? So having it, for your 10 should sound borderline too bright, okay, on the tone, okay, and obviously pickup switch, the kind of differences you can get there. All right, so then we segued off to the drop D thing. So first of all, getting to drop D. We'll talk about the harmonic way. Well, I'll go through that real quick now, and maybe you could write this down. Actually, be the quickest way to do it. So, standard tuning. We're going fifth fret. Now, obviously, you need some kind of absolute pitch to find out the original one, right? But just so the guitar is at least in tune with itself, you don't even need to do that much. So, there it is. They should be the same. So, fifth fret of the sixth should match the seventh of the A. Same again here. Fifth of the A matching with seventh harmonic of the D. And remember, by the way, use the bridge pickup for this because the neck pickup doesn't pick up fifth fret harmonics very well. So same again here. Fifth of the D with seventh of the G. Now, that breaks down here, of course, because that's not tuned to the fifth fret, it's tuned to the fourth. So this guitar is in tune, so see the way there's a semitone of the difference there. So what you can do is you can take the seventh fret harmonic of the sixth string and match it just to the open B string. So, and now finally for the open E, you've got two options here. And this is a good way to check, have you sort of stayed in tune all the way down, right? You can either take the fifth fret harmonic of the bottom E string and match it up with the open high E string, or you can take the fifth fret of the B string and match it up with the seventh fret of the E string. So that's tuning with harmonic standard. Now, to get to drop D from there, oh, and by the way, you can always do it with the frets. Reason I don't do that is because, as I was showing you on earlier on, there's variation there. Here's one way, a little bit more pressure. There's a variable there with the pitch, and obviously when we're tuning, we want to be as accurate as possible, so we want to get rid of any variables. So that's why the fifth fret, it works to get it roughly in tune, but I wouldn't. If you don't have a tuner, harmonics is definitely a better way to go about it. So for the drop D, then we're coming seventh fret on the sixth string and bringing that down so that it matches. Well, yeah, the 12th fret of the A string. Another way you could do it is get the 12th fret of the E string, match it up with the open D string. So And then as you were talking about there, the beats, you'll hear those that wub, 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 and you want to hear it just level out. So when we're in drop D, then our pentatonic scale is open 3 5, open 3 5, open 3 5, open 2 5. Generally wouldn't come down here for the G string. It's really all about these three bottom strings here. So we did a really simple little riff. We got a little bit of overdrive on it. That's a little bit more than just a little bit of overdrive, but whatever. So we went. So that'll be your typical kind of drop D riff, right? Just lots, sort of very kind of raunchy, get that kind of expression in there, really drag the pleck into it. So then we got on to vibrato. So with a non-bent note, something that you're just fretting, hitting like that, there's two main ways of doing it, assuming your guitar doesn't offer you more. So rolling, as you already do, like in the classical tradition, one thing you can do is get more fingers on it, and that kind of increases the intensity of it. Another way is to bend it down using your wrist. So this is not my fingers doing this. This is just my fingers are just holding it. My wrist is turning, okay? Down and back to its original position. Or if let's say you're on the E string, you can't bend it down without falling off. Up and back down. But as I said, never both because you don't want this. I don't know why it sounds weird like that, but it just does. So then we got on to chords. So yeah, now we only touched on this very briefly, but so you've got all the major and minor ones, and we were talking about how theory kind of matches up to the feeling that comes with them. Major is happy, that interval. If we're talking about A, there's that major interval, that big gap between the first and the 1, 2, 3, the third, right? And then of course for minor, so that's. But of course, there's other ones. Sevens we're going to be getting to. There's C major 7, C7. Okay, so we'll be talking about the difference between those two, what they'll do for the music, and as well, just instead of going chord by chord, the system is what we want to figure out. So that's how we're going to be going about that. So as I said, give us a few songs, preferably 4. Just give us as many options as we can. Now, obviously, if you give me 5, that doesn't mean we're going to just plow on through. Start at 1 and just plow on through. Just to give me some options, I'll pick which I think is the most suitable to get started with. All right, hope you enjoyed it today. See you again.